What if I tell you something that is sinister? The Black Book of Saint Cyprian. Have you heard of it? So the story is full of mystery and involves a guy who, before being a saint, was practically a dark wizard. Just imagine, the guy mastered some heavy witchcraft, things like summoning spirits, casting spells. And he wrote all of this in a book that they say was written in blood. But the most bizarre thing is that this book never really disappeared. There are people who spend their entire lives searching, thinking they will gain powers, but the reality is that getting involved with this book is asking for trouble. Would you like to know more about this? Let's get to know this story, because it's one of those that gives you goosebumps just hearing it. The Black Book of Saint Cyprian has an origin that is pure mystery. Cipriano, before becoming a saint, wasn't just anyone, no. The guy was a sinister wizard, known for scaring people with a number of spells and rituals he mastered. He was like the kingpin of the dark arts at the time. They say he started this life from a very early age, traveling to various places to learn magic, summoning spirits and those hidden stops that just thinking about gives you shivers. So, what did he do with all this knowledge? What any ambitious wizard would do, write a book. But it wasn't just any little book, no. It was the Black Book of Saint Cyprian, supposedly written in blood, that's exactly what you read. And full of very heavy spells, capable of giving supernatural powers to whoever managed to decipher and use the paraphernalia described there. Now, of course, nothing comes for free, right? The book was not just about power. He had a heavy curse, which promised to destroy the lives of anyone who dared mess with him without knowing what they were doing. And it wasn't just any curse, it was something that would keep anyone up at night. So while many people dreamed of getting their hands on this book, few had the courage to face the consequences. So, are you beginning to understand why this book is surrounded by so much legend? Now, let me tell you how Cipriano went from sinister wizard to saint. His life took a turn that no one expected, and it all started when he found Justina. This girl was firm, super devoted to Christianity, and Cipriano, with all his magic and power, decided that he was going to make Justina fall in love with him using his spells. But guess what? Nothing worked. The guy tried everything, he sent spells back and forth, but Justina was still there, firm and strong in her faith. Imagine the head of Cipriano, who always had everything under control with magic, suddenly coming face to face with someone he couldn't bend. This left him in trouble, and that's when an internal crisis began to unfold within the guy. He began to question whether all that power he had was really worth anything. Justina, without making much effort, showed Cipriano that she had a strength greater than any magic he knew. That's when Cipriano did a 180 degrees and decided he was going to give up witchcraft. And that was not all, he converted to Christianity. The guy who was once the master of darkness started burning his magic books and renouncing everything he did before. Now, here's the craziest thing, even with this radical change, he kept the Black Book a secret and hid it, to ensure that no one else would mess with it. After all this transformation, Cipriano went from a feared wizard to a respected saint. He came to be seen as a defender against the dark arts, and people began to pray to him for protection. I mean, the guy went from powerful sorcerer to miraculous saint. And look, not everyone has a turn of events like that in their lives, right? But first, I need to ask you. Are you enjoying it? Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos and leave a like. Now, let's move on to the outcome of this story, which becomes increasingly intriguing. So even after Saint Cyprian gave up magic and became a saint, the Black Book continued to be there, lurking. You know that story about don't mess with what you don't know? Well, this book is the perfect example. Time passed, Cipriano became a legend, but the book? That one never really went away. Over the centuries, several different copies and versions of the Black Book of Saint Cyprian have appeared. Each with its own twist, from basic spells to protect your home to demonic summons that no one with any sense would dare attempt. And that's the catch, no one knows for sure which of these versions, if any, is the real Black Book. But that never stopped people from going after it. And look, not a few people get lost on this path, huh? There are occult scholars, curious people who think they will gain superpowers, and even those who just want to see if the legends are true. but what they find is often not what they were expecting. Legend says that the book carries a heavy curse. Whoever tries to use it without being prepared or without understanding what they are really doing, ends up paying a high price, with a right to torment and misfortune that lasts a lifetime. So what began as a work of unparalleled power became the greatest object of fascination and fear. To this day, there are people who swear that the real Black Book of Saint Cyprian is still hidden somewhere, just waiting to be found. But at the same time, there are those who believe that it is better to leave this book alone in the corner, because what is written there is something that no one should mess with. Ultimately, the Black Book became one of those legends that, even after centuries, still continues to haunt the imagination of those who hear about it. So that's today's video. I hope you liked it. See you in the next story.